Couchsurfing is a very wide community, and in general is very safe. Make friends and get know some other cultures, practice my languages. They don't like to use clothes. Sometime in middle of the night I was sleeping and he just wake up me and tried something, and it was very very comfortable. And I feel I don't will host again these people.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Girafa podcast show. Today, it's my pleasure to have the Raul with us today at the podcast. Hello, Raul, and welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for accepting us and for sharing your experience. If you want, you can just starting with introducing yourself, and then I'm gonna ask some question. It's not very difficult, so just want to know that our viewer maybe wants to know that who you are, what you're doing, and then I'm gonna ask the rest of the question.
Okay. Well, as you say, my name is Raul. I'm Mexican. And well, I will describe me as a curious person. Right now, I'm doing the working holiday visa in France. And well, after that, I was in Mexico. And well, that's when I started to doing couch surfing.
Okay.
Actually, I have traveled a bit because, well, I have the chance. I did my studies in biology. I'm a biologist. Then I continued studying in Quebec. But while I was doing all of that, I started doing couch surfing.
Okay.
And continue doing that. And yeah, I think mainly describe me as a curious person, and I always
of course
like
you won't be curious.
Yeah, and meet new people and other cultures, practice my languages. But yeah, actually, I'm not sure if I will continue with biology. Maybe, but maybe I will start doing something else. But I really liked my studies, but I see I'm trying to see biology in everything.
Yeah.
But even the future is going to be interesting.
But right now, maybe you're thinking, "What I'm doing that? Why should I continue?"
Yeah. And also, as a curious person, I'm curious about other fields and
yeah. Maybe that's a curiosity. See. Let's see if I'm gonna stop to doing that. What's gonna happen? Let's see that.
yeah.
Interesting, because I remember in one of our episodes, I had a guest. He was a photographer and editor, and before he wants to be a professional in the photographer and be a photographer, he had a very good job, the official job. I mean, the office. He was working for the government or something, but he was some stable job. And he was talking about okay, when I decide to just stop that kind of the office job, so I start to just work for myself. And we were talking about that, what's happened to him. But right now you said that maybe I'm not gonna continue. To just remind me, yeah, this I don't know, this journeys maybe it's not just outside. Sometimes it's happened inside of the people. It's interesting. So, is it okay if I want to ask what is couch surfing? Can you explain it to us?
Yeah. Well, Couchsurfing is a platform. I would say it's a social network,
Mm-hmm.
which well is made for travelers. So you can, as a traveler, you can, well, if you are part of this network, either you can host or you can be hosted by someone. For example, if you have a space, even for example, when I was in Mexico, when I started, I was in the south of Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and I always say that Mexico it could be at least three countries. So I am from the center,
Okay.
but I was studying in the south, so it's very warm there. And there they don't have, or the people that are from there, they don't sleep in beds. They sleep in hammocks. So I only have, well, as I was foreigner there, I have a bed, but also I have a hammock. So when I posted in the port for the first time in this network, I say, well, I have a hammock, and if you want to sleep that
Mm-hmm.
in the hammock, and if it's okay for you, you can stay. Well, I also have a mattress, a comforter
Yeah, yeah,
mattress,
yes.
but everyone want to experience how is to sleep in a hammock. Well, so it don't have to be very fancy, even if you only have a couch. I think that was the original idea. So you can host someone. So you are willing to get know someone that is traveling, or well, that's the main idea. You can offer this space, and well, you get available,
Uh-huh.
or you put that you're available, and this person that is going to this city or region where you are living, he can send you a message, and if you have some time available, you can receive this person, and that's all.
So it's look like a
And
Airbnb, or is it?
it's like Airbnb, but it's free
Oh,
because
it's
you
free.
don't. Yeah, it's free.
So if it's free, why
So
you're doing that? Why people?
well, uh, well, it's just couch surfing. It's also a community
Okay.
because it's another way of traveling. Yeah, there is also people that they don't want to spend money, so they just don't want to spend money. They
Oh.
want a free space for to be, and that's okay. There's even also that I liked about this community is that it's very diverse. There's
Mm-hmm.
people that have been in this place that they are in some kind of emergency. They don't have any place to stay,
Okay.
and they know that it can occur. So um, they receive people only for one night,
Uh
and
huh.
yeah, it's okay. But it depends on you. For example, I have host people for only one night, and yeah, it's okay because they are in a problem, in a difficult situation. But for example, what I liked about couchsurfing is to get known the people. Even it's maybe only 2 or 3 days, but even to share a
Mm-hmm.
meal,
Mm-hmm.
to only to
The
chat a little bit.
communication. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. So, during the night, you're gonna stay at the house. So it's not like the Airbnb. You're going out and rent the house. So, for example, if you're gonna be housed. If I'm coming to your place, we are gonna spend the night together at the same place. You're not going out and That's the idea. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, not in the same depth,
No, no,
but
no. I'm in the same place.
in
Yeah.
the same place, in the same flat, the same apartment. So even something curious about this platform is that, or this community is that, well, there is this system of reference.
Aha.
This section is very important because when you host someone,
You don't know him. Yeah.
they you don't know him. So at the end of the experience, you can make a reference for this person, and well, you can say whatever you want, even if you will host again this person or not.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, based on the reference, many people choose to, to ask this person to
Okay.
receive you or
They
not.
gonna
For
reject you.
example, yeah, it's in the both way, no.
It's
So
the
I
trust.
can,
Yeah, the trust is very important in this
yeah,
culture.
but there is something about this community that, for example, I've I I also have done this, that I am not in my house, but I left the keys with the neighbor
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
say, so I don't will be in my place, but I've I have left the key, so you can go and stay, and it's okay for me, and if it's okay for you. But I fear that many people do that,
Mm-hmm.
and the reference is very important.
Yes.
I, I've received also a lot of solo travelers, single and female travelers that are traveling alone, and these some girls have read all my reference just to be sure that I'm trusted, not
Yes.
trustworthy.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So this uh, yeah, important part. Well, actually, when I start with coach surfing, I didn't have any reference,
Yeah.
so that was difficult for me to get a host. So I try to be flexible in that part. If there is someone that doesn't have a reference, I try to be willing to yeah
To know
just
them.
try. No, it was difficult for me to get a host in while I was starting with coach surfing. So I try to be flexible in that
Mm-hmm.
part that doesn't have any reference. So yeah, because I've been there, so and I know
Mm-hmm.
that can be difficult. So I
So
just
you
try to
take a time to find the references, and step by step they can trust you. In the same way you said that, but I'm gonna ask it in the specific question. What was your purpose? Why did you start to this couch surfing? What was the main reason for you?
well, just curiosity.
Okay.
Was once I was traveling Argentina, and I wanted to try it, but as I don't have, I in that time I didn't have any reference, but difficult for me, and also I think it was a kind of new. So
Uh-huh.
many don't,
Do you
there's
remember
so many,
when was that? What's
yeah,
year?
it was in 2014.
So in 2014,
Yes.
this couch surfing start to be more familiar.
No, I don't know exactly when. I think Couchsurfing is from 2008.
Okay, so it's old. And
Yeah,
when
well,
did you find that? 2014.
Yeah, I found this platform in 2014.
And I found it
Even I
2022.
Sorry?
I found it 2023. Sorry, I just found that
Wow,
there is a some application.
there is too late.
Oh,
Even there's people that already are talking like grandpas that say that, yeah, in the good times of couch surfing, it was so different, it was better.
oh, so
And yeah, it has changed, but I think it's the
mm.
same. But
So the curiosity push you to be the coach surfing, so you can be a host, and uh, someone else can be your host. In one condition they can use, because for example for Airbnb, okay, I know where I'm going, when I'm going, so I'm gonna book a time, I'm gonna pay. So what's the difference except the financial situation? So is there a kind of the emergency situation? Someone can use this platform, or they can book a time months before that or weeks before that, or is it a kind of the different?
no, well, um, I have received people that ask me like 2 or 3 months in advance, and sometimes, well, in the last years, my way of traveling has been like staying in one place and studying or working. So I know that in 3 months I will
Uh-huh.
be this this place. So I I accept, but it depends of you. You can um, define that you want to have like any time in well, I don't know how to say, but well, you can put in like your own specification. If you want to host people that are
Okay.
in
Aha.
emergency, you
Okay.
receive same
Okay,
day.
so you can
Even
put it in your
one day.
profile. I'm gonna accept emergency, or I'm not gonna accept it. Or as you said, I'm gonna accept just for one night or more than. So you can put that filter.
Yeah, you define the rules, and for example, that's very common with girls. Like they are more emphatic, I think.
Mm.
Well, I have done that, but especially with girls, they sometimes they um, well, female hosts
Yeah.
receive this kind of girls that are in some kind of emergency, and in
Yes.
also some travelers, some girls that only want to be hosts, but girls, female hosts. So yeah, in this is, situations, this is very common. Even couch surfing is a very wide community, and in general is very safe. But I've heard some cases in which the host is not very. Yeah, sometimes there's some bad situation because maybe this host is new and they are looking for something else,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, and so I've heard some cases that well, there's some kind of conflict, and this person already have planned to stay in this place, but in the end, he can, and he have to
Mm.
search for a new host, and yeah, but also is it depends also in the cities. For example, where I have lived, always in small cities, there is not so many people. But in cities like Paris or Mexico City, there's plenty of people, and you can be a traveler in many ways. I've read some profiles
Mm.
of the people that host people, but they don't like to physically travel. They don't
Oh.
like to. another country, they like to stay in their homes, but it's a way of travel because people of uh, a completely different culture comes
Mm,
to your home, brings
interesting.
some other recipe or music or topics or anything. And yeah, they make you travel in a way just because
Uh-huh.
what they tells you. And yeah, that's what I've liked couchsurfing, because you can learn many things for anybody, and I think it's even more if they are from another country, another culture, because I'm convinced that there are many ways of being, no, and and every single person have an interesting
Mm. Yeah,
history.
it is interesting that I don't like to go out, but I'm gonna stop. I'm going to listen to your story and we say, ah, that's nice. So interesting. So that this kind of the conversation and sharing the stories or the culture and everything is gonna be so nice. Yeah, it feels nice if you can share
Yeah.
this.
For example, when I arrived to Europe, I start I I rent an Airbnb, and in 2 days after I have arrived, I started doing couch surfing even in the Airbnb, and it was also useful because I have never lived in Europe, and many people come and tell me some tips, and so it was also useful.
So you're gonna kind of
Mm.
addict to this quite so free.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, yeah. I
Even
think,
when you have the Airbnb, you're gonna say couch surfing, which is interesting.
yeah, no, you're right. I think,
So I think it's honestly I didn't know that about this couch surfing, but right now if I try to imagine, okay, I'm going to the city that I don't know anyone, but then there is a platform or application they can give me some friends. They know the city, they can give me advice, and probably we have a lot of comments. So it's so nice. It's so nice. You can have.
and there's plenty of ways of using couch surfing. For example, I have a friend that I met by couch surfing in Toulouse, and what he usually is, he don't host or stay with someone, but the platform has this part that is called Hangout. So
Oh,
if you are in some new city, you can activate this mode, and then you can see the people that are in the same city and that also are willing to get to going out and take a beer, and he travels a lot. So he has been in Turkey. I think the last summer he was in Oman. So that's another way to get know people in new places, like travel in a more authentic way without being or staying in in the people's home, because also it can be difficult because staying in the place of somebody is very intimate.
mm,
So there's people that doesn't like to be in this kind of intimacy with strangers because they are strangers.
yes,
Even are travelers and you have maybe something in common, but they are strangers. But well, I've heard this phrase that every single person that we know now, that even are our friends, once were strangers. No, that's
yes, exactly. Everything start from to be friendship to if everything start from to be. I mean, be. stranger first. Interesting. So you can have someone for hanging out and just go out and talk and drink or something.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. So you said that you had a trip to Europe recently or something. Can I ask where have you been?
Here in Europe.
You said that you had a trip.
Yeah, well, I've been living in France for the last year,
Hmm.
and I've been traveling mostly in France. I know all the south of France, a little bit of the north,
No, I mean,
and
how many different countries have you seen except the France you are living?
well, I've lived in Mexico, south of Mexico, in Quebec, and in France. That's all.
What about a trip? Did you have a trip to a different travel to different countries?
Yeah. Also, I lived in Argentina.
Uh-huh.
I did Erasmus in the
Uh-huh.
university, and yeah, I've traveled. When I was there, I traveled to Chile, Brazil, Uruguay,
Hmm.
also within Argentina, Mexico. I've also went to United States, and but that's actually when I started doing couchsurfing. It was in 2018 when I already left my parents' home and I already have my own place. That's when I start hosting people, and that's a kind of weird because I mostly I have host people. I haven't been host just once actually.
So most of the time, your house was you're sharing your house. You didn't get there. Okay. So I'm gonna ask something. Maybe it's a little different. During this time, have you ever had this kind of some kind of the unique experience when you were talking with the people, some kind of the memory or a person after conversation, he or she changed something in you, or it was so, as I said, memorable, it was so unique for you? Do you have that kind of the experience to talking with the people?
Yeah, like in a kind of spirituality, but in other way. Well,
Mm-hmm.
and something I use these platforms for meditation, guided meditation. And I use this that is from a laboratory in the US that is called Healthy Minds,
Mm-hmm.
and something that is um, that they say that is important is the intention that you have while doing this meditation. And I was talking with this girl that also was interested in this topic, but she told me that, well, you can do this in everything. It doesn't You don't have to be doing meditation, because everything is about intention. So if you want to have a good time, you will have a good time. Not even in things more important, like when you are starting a relationship. If your intention is to be in a good relation in which both are going to grow and continue developing, so you will have this kind of relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
for example, I used to work while I was in Argentina. I used to work in a restaurant, and I just remember that. And whenever one client enter, I just say, well, I will try this, not to like, I will try to have a good time. And
Mm-hmm.
like to have a win-win interaction, and usually it go go well. No, like we both have a good time, and
So you
so
try to enjoy time and you enjoy it.
yeah. But that it was this simple conversation with this girl that say, yeah, well, you can do it in any time. Yeah,
So for
that's
meditation, you
something.
don't need that kind of the pose or something. Even you when you are something like that, she teach you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Because after this little conversation, like I only have this purpose, like in this moment, no. But then I try to in every single
So when you are
situation.
eating, you are
And
you have a meditation. When you are, I don't know, drinking, you're meditating. You when you are walking, you're meditating.
well,
You
I
can. I mean,
actually,
not
yeah,
you. I mean, we can do that.
yeah, yeah, we can do that. I try to do that. Like, well, I I can try, no, but then I forgot and just
Yes.
don't do that. But yeah, sometimes even when I'm eating or just having talking with someone. But yeah, for example, I always say that the best meal that I ever had, it was a guided meditation because it was in a wine testing. So the sommelier said, yeah, you have to smell it and you have
Oh
to
yes, yes.
sip, but
Taste
you
it. Yeah.
always, yeah. So
Yes.
the food was really good, but it was even better because all the senses were there.
Yes.
So, and yeah, and I convinced that you can do that with everything, with
Mm. You're not just
conversation.
eating the food or drinking the wine. You just taste it, smell it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
when I remember I passed some kind of the course, not a course, official course, but it was about the test wine testing, and uh, the guy he had a very small uh, small bottle, and he gave us and said smell it and try to find out what is this. So sometimes we just smell it and say, oh, it's so familiar, but we don't know what is it. And he said that this is the problem. And for example, he said, this is a butter, this is the, I don't know, cinnamon, this is a blah. But most of the time we're familiar with the taste, but we're just eating very fast. We are not taste it, you know. But when we try to, and he said that next time if you want to eat or drink something, first smell it and then try to just eat it or drink it slowly. Then, as you said, it's going to be all the senses going to be involved. So there's a different way, different when you're just drinking or you're drinking, or when you're just eating or eating. So yeah, that's a good advice. Maybe it's very healthy actually to just make all this stuff involved. It's very interesting. You just remind me this one. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have a question. If but you said it's right now is a little difficult, but what do I need if I want to be in this platform? I mean, if I want to be involved in this society, accept the recommendation or blah blah. Personally, what do I need? So maybe some type of the people they are not good.
I would say that the difficult part would be to get a reference,
Mm-hmm.
but there is different kind of reference. So there is the reference that you get from host, also the reference that you get from travelers
Mm-hmm.
that you have heard. And the other are reference for people that maybe are your friends or that people that you met while you were doing like the hangout.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be a good option to start having some reference. If you want to get host, but by someone, or the opposite, to start receiving people. But in actually, you create your way of using
Uh,
couchsurfing. So there's plenty of way of there's I think there's 2 million of users
2 million.
couchsurfing right now.
Wow.
I think so. There is
Plenty of people.
oh, actually there is 2000, no, uh, 12 million users of
12 million.
couchsurfing
Wow.
right now. So
12.
there's plenty of
Yes.
ways to using couchsurfing. So you can create your own way. Like, for example, something that I have found very weird in Europe is people host that are naturists, or I don't know how to say in English, but they are they don't like to use clothing, so they are naked in their place. So
Okay, the
if you
nudie
are
one.
okay with that, they host you. And
But you have to be
yeah,
naked like them. No.
no, they don't. There is not something that they ask you, but they will be naked.
Okay.
So,
It's gonna be your
so
problem as a
yeah,
host.
you have to read and like do the
Be
specific.
prepared.
Yeah, so yeah, there's many ways of use couch surfing. I like to make friends and get know some other cultures, practice my languages, and just talk with people. And
Mm. Let me ask you this question. It just came to my mind. What is your weirdest uh, experience do you have, or something happened to you?
well, the I have
Something.
two I would say two bad experience
Mm-hmm.
with couch surfing. And as I say, there's plenty of ways to use couch surfing. And there's people that use it to like as a Tinder or something like this. No?
Oh,
So there's people that assumes that when you accept to host them, it's like
you are
accept
in a
all.
relation.
Yeah. So when I was just arrived to France, someone sent me and so yeah, asked me to host him, and yeah, I say yeah, it's okay, and for me it was like normal, no, but yeah, sometime in middle of the night I was sleeping and he just wake up me and tried something, and it was very uncomfortable, and I feel it, but he was very tenacious, not very in. No, I was very uncomfortable. I feel like a little bit,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, the
but
dance. Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah.
yeah.
And also I have this host and that actually was also from Mexico, but this is just was a very weird guy. Even he was traveling with his daughter, and I don't know, it's just this weird guy that has just another conception of
Hosting.
property and service, and It's just I believe it's because he's from a very wealthy family in Mexico, and he just think that he have the right to ask, and he owns, and
Aha.
but yeah, it was very weird person.
But you can.
And
Yes.
yeah, and yeah, it was not a good experience. Then he asked me to host him again, and I don't even respond. I
But
it
you can
was
write the for example, in your recommendation about that guy. So
yeah.
this is
You can say that no, I don't will host again these people, and yeah, it's like a bad
for
Israel
them.
for him. Even this guy has I don't even know that it could be possible, but his profile has been
Suspend.
blocked,
Okay.
suspended. He has been suspended for couchsurfing.
Okay.
Maybe he has too many bad reference.
You weren't alone.
That's why. Yeah, yeah.
Again and again. Oh, you can. Yeah, interesting. So, but most of the time it's good. But there is sometimes it's.
Yeah, I was making memory, and I think I've host like 170 people, and only these two, but I only have these two
Most of the time there.
experience. Yeah, so most of the time is even I've made some good friends by good surfing. So I
Interesting.
always recommend it.
Are you still doing that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, right now I'm traveling with my with my parents. We are making this little tour around Europe, and where I've stopped hosting people. But yeah, the last host I've had was 1 month ago. Yeah, he was from Ukraine,
Okay.
and also very, yeah. It my world has widened. No.
Okay, so if during your trip, if you come to Finland, or you come to the Helsinki, I can be that kind of the host for you. I will be so happy to see you if you come to the Finland because I live in Finland.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Raul. I almost asked all the questions I prepare, and it was so interesting to be familiar with this couch surfing. It's very nice, and it's very established on the trust, and it can help people to find new friends and new community and communication. Thank you so much. And if you have something in conclusion, I'm gonna be the mic is for you if you have something.
Like a recommendation to be open to everything, and just don't feel that our way of seeing the world is the only way of seeing the world. There's plenty, even every single person have and we can always learn from anybody. So I think it's a good posture of life, a good philosophy, like be open and curious for life and anything and anyone.
Interesting. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very important, especially these days, because most of the time we are gonna be stuck with the phone and that kind of the social media. This type of the stuff can make us closer to each other, as to be in a human relationship, not just behind that the phones and tablet or everything. Yeah, thank you so much, Raul, for your time and your experience, and thank you for everyone there watching us. Please subscribe and follow us in YouTube. And if you are that type of the guy, they have that experience or that journey, you can contact us to be a part of the show. It's not a couch surfing, but right now I know you. It was so interesting, and the next time maybe I can be your host if you come to the Helsinki. And thanks again, and have a nice time, and I hope to see you again.